why just look down at your ball and the hole and try and get it there as quickly as possible? Why not take in the whole experience? And I think sometimes having cameras around help, because you start to actually look around and see, like, this is gorgeous.
Yeah.
Behind this hole is just blue ocean.
Yeah, I must look at this.
Yeah.
I must focus on something other than the direction of this ball and how many times I hit it this time.
Yeah.
I had the chance to spend the day with Cameron Weiss, watchmaker and golfer, to learn about his process and how he got into the game of golf. The beautiful links at Terranea was the perfect spot to have 9 ace cams. And even if we don't make one, we're going to go to his studio after to do a podcast, and I'm going to learn all about every single part that he makes to make his watches just as beautiful as some of the most beautiful golf courses in the world. Enjoy the show. Thanks. See you guys soon. This is great. 9 holes? We need the scorecards up there? 9 hole-in-ones. That's the goal. Ace Cam's live for the entire video. We're just going to need to revamp the Ace Cam logo. Thank you, sir.
You got it.
All right, here we go. Let's take a peek here. The links at Terranea. I have played here once. Nice vertical scorecard. That's cool. We got 9 par 3s. Longest one is 173. Shortest one is 121, 115. There we go. 104. Keeps changing. All right, Cameron, you ready to go?
I think so.
Let's see. I'm glad we were able to get out here, and thanks for taking the time.
Yeah, no. It's good to get back on the course.
How often, what's your golf history like?
My golf history?
Yeah.
Well, I started as a very little kid, like tiny clubs. I'm a couple years old, maybe.
Okay.
My dad thought maybe I could be Tiger Woods. I don't know.
Mine never did.
It didn't really pan out, but I played until I was like 20, maybe like 24.
Okay.
And then just pretty much completely stopped. I kept the clubs and I'd go hit a few balls every once in a while.
Right.
But then the grips disintegrated.
Right.
I got rid of the clubs and I haven't golfed in 5 years now.
And why do you think that is? Just family time, your own personal business?
Work.
Yeah.
Definitely work. I started the business 6 years ago.
That happens for a lot of people. Work takes up your life, and golf is sort of a time-consuming activity that isn't necessarily, going to fit into that.
Yeah. I mean, I made it to the range a few times.
Yeah.
But every time I'd go, I'd get sore. I hadn't been hitting balls in a long time.
Well, especially with disintegrated grips.
That doesn't help.
Welcome to the EAL YouTube channel. We're live here at the links at Terranea. Look at this turf. It's got a linksy feel. When you slam the ground like that, you want to feel it in your feet a foot away. That's how you know you're really at the links. We're in LA though, so as linksy as one can get. Cameron Weiss on the tee from Seattle, California. Washington. And remember, once again, no one here can see where the ball goes. So if you hold the finish, they're going to think you stuck it.
Right?
It's all about body language.
Yeah. Yes. All right. We'll have a nice chip.
Pretty high.
There you go. We're
All right.
in the same area.
You and I on the left side. Basically, same. All right, let's enjoy the walk. Cha-ching. 88.5. Back from years at sea in the watch world, we're going to do a podcast later today and a visit to the Weiss studio, the Weiss Watch Studio. So we can probably cut to that right now and you could just get a glimpse of the studio and hear a great soundbite of the podcast, and then we'll come back to golf. See you in a second. Let's talk about the most interesting thing. You just said the word story. Why is story relevant to a thing on your wrist that ultimately only tells you the time of day?
I think the story is 100% of the importance behind a watch. It's obsolete. It's completely unnecessary. Everybody has a phone, or you're driving in your car and you've got your clock radio. The time is all around us. It has nothing to do with time. It is a piece of art. It is a piece of engineering. It's something that somebody poured their life into, really. They trained, apprenticed, worked, learned the trade, and then spent many hours producing this thing, and it happens to tell time. That's the reason you can justify buying it. But really, the story behind it is where the value comes in. And that's what people are proud of when they put on a nice watch. It's everything that's behind that. You can feel that, all that extra that's in there with the story.
So, I gotta imagine you're the only guy doing this. There's not other guys doing this.
There's nobody else I know of in the U.S. that is making parts like these.
Making parts and then making a watch.
Yeah.
There's other people that are buying parts and then putting a watch together, or making a watch that looks like yours that's quartz.
Yeah. Yeah.
Man.
But to do this, it's not necessarily a financially motivated decision.
Oh, I would imagine not.
It has to be passion
I'm
driven.
doing math in my head and I'm like, whoa, that's a lot of watches.
Yeah. So I have this workshop where I can make all these things because that's what I enjoy. And I wouldn't want to have this business if I didn't make these things. Wouldn't be fun.
Yeah, baby. Yes.
He's back.
Yes. Ooh. All right. Great news about this shot is 88.5, favorite radio station, 88.5. It's also the number that I've been working on for the past couple days. So this should probably go in the hole. Cut a little bit. Deep. All right. Well, never been a bad shot I didn't like.
Oh, that's a really good putt.
I wonder what music is going to be playing in the edit when we... Once again, Ace Cam has and always will be live for this episode as I drop the iron and get the grip nice and wet. What you want is a wet grip, especially, when you don't have a tee. Really crucial to hitting good, crisp shots. That's pretty close. That is probably the most interesting part about the watch world that you're in, which is that this is technology that, by nowadays standards, it's like people don't get it. But when people were going to the moon, there was no digital. There was no ones and zeros. It was, we got to know what we got.
Yeah.
Is that what kind of inspired you to get into this business in the first place?
Yeah, I like the utilitarian nature of watches. They do one thing, super simple, but you have like cars and mechanical items and things like that. You can't take them everywhere. You can't have your car on the course. You can have your watch on the course. You can have your watch in your house. You can have your watch on your wrist when you're sitting at your desk. So as a kid, that really fascinated me because I could wear them to school. I could wear them whenever, all the time. I could bring all the things I loved inside a mechanical watch with me all the time.
So this is a thing that goes back to childhood.
Yeah.
All right, I can't wait to unpack this. There's so much to talk about. But when did you get started? You told me the story, and you talked about your mom, and you
you said the two words that I'm interested by from a colleague of mine who has a YouTube channel called What's Inside.
Yeah.
And your mom asked you with a broken watch when you were how old?
I was a kid, maybe like 5 or 6 years old. And it was my father's watch. He got in a jacuzzi. It steamed up. And it was my great aunt. We were at my great aunt's house. And she said, we should open this up and see what's in there. And she was just kind of fostering. I was a very technical kid, and I'd be the one that like VCR broke and I took it apart. So she brought me a screwdriver, and we took this watch, we opened it up and looked at what was inside. And that was eye-opening to me. I had no idea. You never really think about that. You just see the hands on a watch, the face of the watch, the dial, the surface things, and it tells time. To actually look inside and see that there was more to it, it definitely had an impact on me. I didn't realize it at that point. We ended up putting a picture of my face inside that watch, and I still have the watch. I still have it. It's one of my most treasured watches, and it does not tell time. It has no movement in it. It's just a picture of me. But the whole story is where the value is. That watch, I would prefer that somebody steal any of my other watches. If they go missing, that's okay. But if that watch goes missing, I'd be very sad.
What was it like this morning playing golf?
I thought it was quite fun, actually. I think that having like the crew there and trying to document it and have the conversation, that changes it a little bit. It changes the focus. It's not so much competition, and I was used to a much more competitive feeling when I had golfed in the past. Just trying to get the best shot, trying to get the best score, trying to get the best placement, or like people are rushing you. It wasn't a golf that I loved, and that's probably why I kind of slowly fell out of it.
Interesting.
And this was really nice to focus more on like the people